Wait, so I'm inside now. This shit, hold on. This is funny because I keep trying to like find, like come up with like ways to describe myself and like my life. You know, we do that. That's one of our favorite things to do as people. And I was like, everybody wants, like, you can measure, there's like, oh, neurotypical people, right? You have neurotypical people, and then you have neurodivergent people, and like, all the neurodivergent people can like relate to each other because they have the same symptoms. And I'm like, yeah, cool. And then there's a lot of people who are like, oh, I'm Alice in Wonderland. I'm like, I am a character in Wonderland. Like, I'm not Alice. I'm a crazy fucking person who is always at the Mad Hatter's tea table. Like, I'm that. Like, I am a part of Wonderland. I am a part of what makes life so fucking weird. That's me. That's fucking me. But I was also sitting there, I was like, let me get my creamer. I was like, you can judge people on a scale of 1 to 10. Like, how strange are you? Or how fucking neurodivergent are you on a scale of 1 to 10? And everybody be like, oh, I'm a 10, I'm a 10. Everybody wants to be a 10. But then there's also like, everybody wants to be weird. Everybody wants to be weird. They all want to be strange. So like, we've seen it. Like, the most popular thing now is to be weird and strange. To be an odd person. And like, that's how people get the courage to come into themselves and be their own unique individual. Because we are. Like, woo! Everyone is unique. Like, fucking anyway, I'm like, you can measure most people on this one ruler, on this one scale of 1 through 10. Most everyone belongs there. And then like, everyone is always like, oh yeah, I'm weird and off the scale. But I'm like, you have to get out a completely different fucking ruler, a totally different measuring tape to fucking get to me. It's funny how that's just like a spiral. Like, it just keeps going and going out like that until you cross some sort of border, and then you're with people who are really fucking creepy. I'm like, I border on the lines of insanity, but not necessarily creepy. But I'm pretty fucking close. Pretty close. That doesn't go in the refrigerator. So yeah, I just wanted to be like that. And be like, stop. Like, it's frustrating because everybody's like, oh, everyone is unique. Everyone is their own specifically unique snowflake, and that's part of what makes people fucking amazing. But like, at the same time, it's like what I'm trying to think of what I really want to say on this, like, because like, I have a friend who's like truly weird. He's like probably 30 now. I think he's like 32 now. And he has been an alcoholic since he was a teenager. Like, really fucking bad alcoholic since he was a teenager. But he's always been odd. Like, if anybody knows anything about Duncan Trussell he's a weirdo. He's an oddball and a weirdo, and you spend fucking 2 minutes listening to Duncan Trussell talk, and you're immediately like, this guy lives on some other fucking planet. That's my friend Bob. He like lives on some other fucking planet, and like, it takes a unique fucking, people love Bob. Like, he's literally weird, and people love him for it. And it takes like a certain kind of person to like speak Bob's language. And I'm just like, well, I'm not that. I know I'm not weird. I'm insane. I'm like, you know what? I'm even more rare than the weirdos. because I truly am insane. I don't have a language. I speak English, but like, one of the things that I live with on a regular basis that I've been talking to my husband about, like, my husband's a regular person. He's normal. Like, he's a history buff. He knows everything about every war ever. And he knows everything about every movie ever and every actor ever. And he knows everything about every musician ever. So he's like one of those guys. He's like the trivia king, right? Because he knows everything. And he literally does. And that's something that all his friends will fucking agree with. They'll be like, yeah, you want Evan on your team if you play a trivia game, because he's going to get every answer. Because he knows everything. So he's like a regular dude who's like, he's got like an above average intelligence or some shit. And I lost my place. What was I going to say? I'm trying to talk about me. Right. This is one of the things I've been trying to tell him. And it pertains to like high magic too. And like the work you're doing in high magic. Because you're like, the work pertaining to chi and like recognizing, being able to see and feel and perceive energy. I can feel my consciousness. Like, this is cool because one of the last rituals I did, I was outside. I tend to do a lot of ritual outside. Outside my front door and outside my back door, and then in the middle of my apartment. So it's like a straight line going through the apartment outside. And every ritual circle I've ever made, I have up here in my head. And those are like energy centers where I live. And like I keep charging each circle every time I do a ritual in each individual ritual circle. But fucking anyway, one of the last rituals I did, I was outside, and like, you know how this is weird because you start being able to feel and perceive energy to the degree that you know it's real. There's substance in the world and you can like push it around and use it, you know, to manifest or whatever, to manifest or states of mind, like states of consciousness. And this was weird because I was doing this ritual outside, and normally if you were to just, for me personally, I don't know how it is for everyone else, but for me personally, it feels like I'm always in like a dense fog, right? Like I've got all this energy accumulated around me at all times, and I'm in this dense fog normally, right? Like my mind isn't hazy or foggy or whatever, but like just around me, the ether around me feels dense. And then when I do my fucking ritual work sometimes, I'll do that LBRP and I'll be like in the middle of my fucking whole ritual because I do Kabbalistic Cross, LBRP, LIRP. I was doing lesser invoking of the hexagram, but I started doing lesser banishing of the hexagram and then lesser invoking of the hexagram. But, so I'm like midway through this fucking ritual, and in the middle of doing this ritual, that fog, I felt it just clear. And like to feel energy dissipate like that so intensely that you go from feeling like you're wearing a heavy winter jacket to taking off that jacket. That's exactly what it fucking feels like. And so now that I have that out of the fucking way, I can feel my consciousness. Like I can feel my mind. It's like there is always a bubble here. And I am always aware of what my mind feels like, my consciousness. I am always aware of it. And like a big part of my life is about that feeling. Is about energy and chi. Like a massive portion of my life is about correcting and balancing that chi that I accumulate around me. There's a huge part of like my understanding and knowledge, my conscious awareness of like the aura. Like this is how deep I am. This is how deep I am. I am completely conscious and aware of the fact that my physical body is simply the physical layer of your aura. I understand and know that I am the Atman. I am the consciousness. And that this physical body is the physical layer of my aura. And my physical body is what does all that. It's what accumulates all that chi around me. My body is accumulating the chi and holding the chi around me. So through my practice with high magic and shit, I'm starting to understand that I need it. Like, I need it to live a happy, comfortable life. I need a discipline like that, a practice like that. But yeah, that was something I was trying to tell my husband. I'm like, I can feel my consciousness. Like, I'm always talking about it. And like, one of the things, like, Damien is always talking about how like conversation, talking is part of terrestrial consciousness. And I'm like, it is. That makes a lot of fucking sense, because I get bored. I get sick of fucking, for one, listening to people talk all the time. I'm like, ugh. I'm like, you go outside and you meet 150 people, and all 150 of those people are going to say the same exact fucking goddamn thing to you about their life and their day. It's the same thing. And it's just like, ooh, turn it off. It's fucking boring. It's mind-numbingly boring. And then, like, at the same time, talking, like, interacting with that conversation is fucking mind-numbingly fucking boring. And it's like, you give me the opportunity to say 5 things. Why would I continue to have a conversation with someone who gives me the option to say 5 things? What the fuck? But this is part of my process for the past year that I've been working. I've actually been working on this for a lot longer than the past year. I just started figuring it out this past year. But for several years now, I've been trying to figure out how to transmute, like, not transmute, but like how to take this accumulation, this fog, this chi that's surrounding me, especially here, like, especially the chi accumulated here. And I'm trying to fucking push it through and out through conversation. Because, like, I kept telling my husband, I'm like, I feel like I have this fucking magnet. Like, there's like something attracted to me. And it's like so magnetic. But for some reason, it's like you take 2 positive sides of a magnet and try to push them together. They won't go together. And I'm just like, I need to figure out how to transfer this energy through conversation. Because nothing else is fucking getting it out. Nothing else is circulating it or making it flow. So, you know, he's right. Yeah, it's a part of terrestrial consciousness. But once you like develop your ability to perceive and work with chi energy, the stuff that your body collects like a coat, you have to figure out, you really, like, when you I'm deep. Like, I am so deep into this occult shit. There is no going back. I cannot fucking live my life without knowledge of chi, energy manipulation, high magic ritual work, and study of the occult. I can't go back. I'm in so deep that I cannot live my life without these things. So yeah, and that's something that my husband, it's hard for him to understand. He's like, I don't get it. He's like, I don't get it. Cause he hasn't developed the perception, the energy perception like I have. He hasn't done the work or the research. And it's not just a part of the research. You have to do the work too. Like, you practice high magic. And when I draw my pentagrams, I literally see silver light in front of me. Like, when you move your hand and sometimes you see a tracer, I'm talking about silver light, like a line, like I'm drawing with a pen, like I'm drawing with a pencil. That's how distinctly and clearly I see this silver light when I draw my pentagrams. So that's where I'm at, developmentally. But yeah, my husband's like, I get it. It sounds cool. Like, I've heard of these things, you know, Bruce Lee, whatever. I've heard of this shit. So I don't think that you're batshit insane for talking about it. And he thinks it's really fascinating. And he loves to listen to me talk about all my occult stuff. He loves to listen to me talk about my high magic stuff, my energy work shit. He loves it. He loves to listen to it and learn about it or whatever. But like for him, it's not important. Like this, where I'm at in my life through my ritual work and the occult, this shit is not important to him. And like I think it's important for a lot of people to realize that if anybody sees my fucking videos, I'm gonna keep adding Damien Eccles and tagging Damien so that I can reach the proper community. But I'm also gonna and tag Witchfoot because this is a portion of that community as well. Witchfoot is like physical witchcraft, and then you have all these people who have heard of high magic. And a lot of people who have heard of high magic, who are practicing witchcraft and following Witchfoot, don't know anything about high magic. And I'm like, well, go to Damien to learn. But at the same time, hi, I am part of the Witchfoot community. I've been part of the Witchfoot community for a long time. Witchfoot has blocked me like 5 fucking goddamn times throughout the years. I'm still here because I love her. But this is like a portion of that. It's a portion of witchcraft. It's just not physical witchcraft. It's energy manipulation. It's work in the astral realm, building the astral realm. It's work of the higher mind and the lower mind, blah, 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 all that good shit. It pairs. It's part of the occult. So I'm tagging Witchfoot so that I can speak to that community at the same time. But I do think it's important for people to understand that when you get you're going to hit a point in like your practice where you're like frustrated that no one around you believes in crystals. No one around you believes in physical witchcraft. No one around you believes in magic. And that's going to last for a while. It's going to last until you upgrade, basically. It's a process. It's almost like an initiatory process in itself. It's like a rite of passage. Like, it's kind of like when you first start chipping away at a tree, when you're trying to cut that tree down, you're cutting little parts out, one chip at a time. And then you start out, you're like, yeah, cut the tree. And then when you really get in there, when you really start having to do the hard work, that's the hard work that you're doing. When you're like, no one fucking believes, I'm so sick of everyone for being so stupid and vanilla. Just keep doing what you do. Just keep practicing, keep studying, keep learning, keep working, and you're going to pass that threshold, and it's going to be a point of no return, and you're going to get so deep where you're like, this is my fucking life now. This is my reality. This is the world to me now. And it's going to be so much a part of your life that it's not going to matter to you if anyone else knows or believes anything that you know and understand. Okay, that's why I say I'm deep now. Like when you think of the occult, you think of like the depths of life, like the underground, the currents under the water that push the river forward, that branch the river out, because the river flows, but the currents under the river are the ones that really direct the new patterns of that river, you know, the new flows. And that's life. That's the essence of living, of consciousness, of human evolution. Once you dig so far into the occult, you become a part of that current, that undercurrent that creates the evolution of fucking consciousness, of consciousness within humanity, within the collective. Now you're a part of it. Now you're a part of directing the flow. So, fuck big brain moments. Ooh. Anyway, bye.